Tasha, I hope you enjoy the break this morning of just chill. Yeah, so Sasha's managing the YouTube chat box, I think, and I'm going to be sending you questions, Silver. I've already made a link for check eligibility, and I'm going to make a link. I have the link generator up for any other links we need in the session. I can make them quickly. Oh, I can do that. Definitely. Let me send that in the Slack channel. Also, post. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, Silver, the one. Have you should change the chat to host and panelists only if you haven't yet. I normally do it, but I'm not a host this time because Zoom is failing us. uh, that would, yeah, like if I don't know. I mean, although if your internet dies, I'm assuming that means Sasha's internet has also died and the option is failing. Hey, but my internet's great, so I can take over if we have to. Oh no, I sent it in the wrong channel. Delete that. Oh, Claire, multitasking. Yeah, that's the one I meant to send. I was trying to send. Yeah. Um, promo go webinar links.
Chat box. I'll make my chat box pop out. No, it's not. We need to start webinar.
But does that mean it's live on YouTube? Okay, good.
Hello. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. How is Ron?
Hi, Ron.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, you need to announce at the beginning that Ashwini couldn't make it and Ron's his fill-in a polite, awesome way that makes Ron sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just because we didn't advertise Ron, we advertised Ashwini, who later said he couldn't do it. So
I did it to Ron once years ago. I think I advertised someone else.
Nice. I mean, what else would that be?
Everyone hear me well?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just a heads up.
Yeah, because I hadn't started yet.
And the general idea is that we need people in the Q&A section to answer chat questions as they come in. And so a lot of the people here are going to be helping us answer questions. And a quick reminder for those, the awesome CRT people who, who are helping us answer questions, do not click answer live. I repeat, do not click answer live. Nothing will happen. So when someone asks a question, you'll get a question in the Q&A field. Two boxes pop up. One says answer live and one says answer this person. We are not allowing people to answer questions live, so it won't do anything. So the option are to answer the question or to ignore the question. I hope that's clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah.
So Claire, a question. I want to test out the pool. If I do it in the test mode, it's just a test, right? And
yes.
I will use it again.
Yes, I believe you'll get an option to, I can't remember if it says resend or end and do it again, but you'll be able to do it again.
Okay. I'm gonna have a pool. Cool. I need to launch. Okay. Allow panelists to practice. Can you guys see a pool?
Yeah.
Yes.
and pool.
Yeah, it's gone.
Referral program. Schools we support. I don't think there's any other links that we need outside those four. So just to confirm, if silver disappears in some way, I'll jump in. If Sharon or Ron disappears, do we have Sasha jump in or do I jump in? I think it's Sasha, correct? Cool. Quick negotiation. Yes, intern power. So I have generated tracking links for this session to make sending links to people easy. Contact us is probably the last one we need. We get questions that we don't know the answer to. All right, team, in the chat, I am sending all the tracking links for today. If you think there's any other web pages we want tracking links for, let me know. It's pretty quick. And there you go. And they're also being shared in the Slack channel. Are there any web pages we think we need a tracking link for that I didn't generate? I'll continue to take silence as we're good.
Quick question. How long does it take for a typical application to be completed and a decision made?
I think we typically advertise 30 minutes on the app pre-docs. So we want to align with the website language. I think Ron can give us better guide on the rest of that question.
Wait, Claire, I missed what you said. It's 30 minutes for an application to be completed?
Just
if a borrower is
like if you're just filling out the information. We typically say, sometimes we even say 20 minutes, but if you're just before you need to upload documents, it's just 20 minutes. If you have all the information you used when you applied for school, it's just data entry.
Okay. And for MPOWER, how long does it take to get a decision out?
Usually 3 to 5 days. It can be faster, but I would say stick to that. Right now we have like a huge backlog, so it's not happening.
We updated some email language from 3 days to 5 days recently, so maybe 5 5 days is safe. We can say sometimes it's faster, but around 5 when we're busy. Yeah.
Cool.
Also, this is going on YouTube. I would say just try to say the earlier you apply, the better, because you'll have a lot more time to for us to get back to you with the decision.
And a lower interest rate. Whoa.
Yep.
Cool. And the rule of thumb is if you mess up, make fun of yourself and keep going. People love that. We're all human. So don't worry about being perfect.
Have you guys had your coffee yet?
I am actively drinking my coffee. It is delicious.
Nope, I don't drink coffee. So. Nope.
Judgment.
I'm
You drink
actually
both?
Sasha on this one because I don't drink coffee too.
Oh, wow. Do you guys drink tea? Just no caffeine?
I drink water. That's it.
Oh, nice. You
Water
drink
and alcohol.
water, Ron. I've had drinks with you.
Yeah.
Ron, I think you need to be in the middle of the screen.
You're muted, man.
So my computer set up here, so my mouse is on this side. So when it starts, I'll just move.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
When using the chat function, everyone, be careful to send things to hosts and panelists and only send things to everyone if you truly want to communicate with everyone. You can send things directly to me if you'd like. I'll be sending questions to Silver to ask. And then feel free to use that chat function just to communicate if anyone needs anything.
I just make both Claire and Sasha the co-host. I'm going to start the webinar in 1 minute.
Silva, do we need to change the name again, like the last time? Like we did MPOWER, Rebecca.
That's a great idea. People might not
That's
know.
a good idea.
Yeah, it's people like we might respond and people might not just think we're randoms. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and I don't want my last name.
If we don't have enough people asking questions, Claire just a fake question deck.
I can fake questions all day. We're good.
I'm going to start the webinar now. All right.
How do you change your name?
I don't know if we can change. Just don't. I'm going to start the webinar now. Okay.
There should be those 3 dots there.
And you can go to participants, find your name.
Go to those 3 dots, yeah, and then you can just rename.
Got it.
It's from now on, if we want to communicate, we
Recording in progress.
Everyone, welcome to MPOWER's third live session about our interest rate reduction. And today we're going to help you avoid mistakes in your loan application too. We're gonna give a minute for people to join. I see that number is increasing. It's great to have you here. In the meantime, I'm going to send out a quick poll for everyone to figure out who we are here today. Please give me 1 moment. Sending out the poll. Okay, so everyone should have gotten a poll to answer some questions. And while you're answering those questions, we're going to introduce ourselves and the webinar topic. Great, my name is Silver Yang. I'm from China and I'm a marketing and sales manager at MPOWER Financing. And I was a former international student too. I did my master in the US and joined MPOWER about 3 years ago. At MPOWER, we have a team of loan experts who are passionate about helping international students to achieve their overseas education dreams and making a difference. Many of our team members are also international students like you. Actually, both panelists we have here today are former international students. Let's welcome Sharon and Ron. Okay, so Sharon, would you like to say hi to the crowd and give us a little bit of introduction of yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm glad to have you here. As Silva said, my name is Sharon. I am a team lead at the servicing department at MPOWER Financing. I was a former international student myself. I am actually from Uganda. So I don't know if there's anyone from Africa here, but Uganda is located on the eastern coast. I came to the US in 2011. I got my bachelor's in economics. I minored in mathematics. I went on to get my MBA. And after that, I had to find something that I was passionate about, which is MPOWER and its mission of helping international students achieve their educational and professional dreams.
Thank you, Sharon. Very impressive background of you. Ron, it's your turn. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks to everyone who was able to join today. So yeah, let me give you a brief introduction of myself. So my name is Ron, and I used to be an international student. I came to the US back in 2015. And after that, I did my master's in finance. And actually, MPOWER is my first job after I graduated from that degree. And I've been working here for the past around 5 years now. So yeah, I'm glad to be here and I'm glad I can help you guys out today.
Thank you, Ron. Welcome both of you here. Has anyone finished this poll? I'm going to end the poll result now. I see we have 46 people, which is 58% of our crowd have already completed the poll. And I'm going to share the result with all of you. You should be able to see it on your screen. So, wow, we have 70% of attendees from Africa, 4% from East Asia, and also 15% from South and Southeast Asia, also 6% from Europe, and 4% from South America. Welcome you all here. And let's see, where are you on your study abroad journey? 50% of our attendees have been accepted to study. Congrats. And 17% have already applied to study or have been conditionally accepted. Best of luck for all of you. And 26% are still thinking about study. I hope after our session today, you will be more determined in achieving your dream. And we also have 6% of attendees have already enrolled. Okay, we are very, very heavy on master degrees. We have 72% of the attendees are masters and 9% bachelor, 9% MBA, also 2% PhD and 9% others. And the majors, yes, very heavy on STEM, 50% of us are STEM major and 11% are business and management. We also have 2% of art and literature and also 34% of other majors. Welcome you all. Yes, I see actually about half of the attendees have already applied for loan with MPOWER and another half haven't. Yes. Welcome you all here. Great. So our topic today is what common mistakes can you avoid in a loan application? So to many of you, it's maybe your first time submitting a loan application, or maybe you're a veteran on this, but still encounter problems in the process. Don't worry, we're here to help you. So the way this webinar works is that we're going to have about 15 minutes of content, and then we'll start the Q&A, which means we're here to answer your questions. So how to ask questions? I see many of you have raised your hand, but to ask questions, anytime you have one, please post it in the Q&A function you will see in the webinar. If you use a desktop, this function should be at the bottom of your Zoom window. If you use your phone, and it should be at the bottom of your screen. So we have about 7 people from MPOWER here on the chat, ready to answer all your questions. So as soon as you have a question, please feel free to type and ask. You can ask us as many questions as you want today, and we'll try to get them all. Cool. Before we jump into our main topic for today, I'd like to remind you that MPOWER has extended our 2% interest rate reduction to the end of this month. If you plan to use the loan for future semesters, like this summer or fall semester, please make sure you submit an application this month. It can save you up to $20,000 in interest payment. This is a huge benefit. Our chat moderator, please share the application link in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, let's start the conversation. Sharon, this is a question for you. So for everyone who wants to apply a loan with MPOWER, they need to go through application process fully online. Could you please give us a brief introduction about what are the steps for this application process to be approved?
So the application process is something that's easy for you to fill out. It should take up to 30 minutes. And the reason why I say that is if you have already applied for school and gotten your admission, you've already been through the process once. So MPOWER is going to ask for similar information that you submitted with your application. And please make sure that you have everything ready, and you should be able to submit your application and get a result soon.
So how long does this application, this whole process usually take, like for the review process?
So once you successfully submit your application, it can take up to 5 business days to receive a decision. So, but of course, if the application hasn't been completed properly, it might delay you getting that decision that you're eagerly waiting for.
Okay, yeah, so it might delay. So Ron, how to get the application approved faster then?
Yeah, so what happens basically is first you enter all the information into your application, and then what happens on the MPOWER side is someone from the team actually tries to verify all the information that you entered on the application. I think that's what causes the most delays from what I've seen in the company. And so the way you actually stop that is whatever information you enter into your application, try to just give us a document that matches that information. If you give us a document that matches all the information in your application, there should not be any delays for MPOWER to process your loan application. But if there's like some discrepancy or something we need to clarify from you, that's when there's some back and forth that happens between MPOWER and whoever's applying for the loan, and that causes the delays in the processing of an application.
I see that some people actually have questions about how to prepare the document that can match their application. And for example, that we've received many questions about how to fill out the funds page. Would you like to give a brief introduction on how this works?
Yeah, so when we talk about the funds page, we are just trying to find out like how much funding you have available for your loan. The recommendation or suggestion I would give you is try to put in the maximum amount of funding that you'll be able to use towards your education. And that can be in the form of anything. It can be savings, bank statements, brokerage documents from like investments, or even like your parents' salary statements, things like that. So you can use a lot of different documents. And you can also talk to CRT people, talk to people in customer service to they'll be able to help you figure out if this document is acceptable and and if something is not acceptable. So they'll be able to help you out if your requirements are very specific.
Right, thank you, Ron. Like if you don't know if your document is a correct document, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at any time, and they will help to guide you through the whole process and help to let you know if your document is the right one. We also get many people ask about the GPA, that we actually know that for students in different countries that with different education system, that they may use different standard for how to calculate GPA. So Sharon, would you like to give us a brief explanation about what standards does MPOWER use to calculate GPA?
So we currently use the US grading system, which is on a 4.0 scale. So I highly recommend, there are a lot of online resources that can help you like convert. You can try to put in like what you currently have from your school and try to see what it will translate into a US grade to see if you meet that criteria.
All right, thank you, Sharon. If you don't know how to calculate the GPA and you are not familiar with American 4.0 standard, you can Google it, and there are actually many resources to help you to calculate your GPA.
Yes, and just to add to that, the 4.0 is the highest. So definitely you want to be as close to that as you can get, because this is, your financial future.
Thank you, Sharon. This is a very valuable tips. And so if the students that gets their, documentations submitted and everything's right, and what happens next after their loan gets approved?
Well, once your loan gets approved, that's one of the biggest hurdles that you've overcome. You're one step closer to meeting your educational goals. The next step would be the funds will get to your school. And that process is what we call disbursement. When the funds are sent to your school, most likely you're already enrolling in classes and things like that. And then you will also be required to start making payments on your loan so that you can start building your US credit history. US credit history is very important. It will determine like what you're going to get on a mortgage, if you're trying to buy a car, if you're trying to get an appointment, if you're trying to move into a very nice place. So you have that opportunity to start building your US credit history so that by the time you graduate, you definitely have your best foot forward.
Yes, thank you, Sharon. That you actually also mentioned the U.S. credit history. Getting a loan with MPOWER and repay it on time can help you to build up a good credit history in the U.S. This is actually very, very important to you. On top of what Sharon just shared, I actually can share a brief story about what happened to my friend in the U.S. That she's also a student. Like a foreign student in the US, and she was actually wanted to rent an apartment somewhere in the city. But because of this one mistake that she made, that she repaid her medical bills late, and then her landlord tells her that to explain what actually happened and why there is a mark on your credit history. So this is also very, very important that you should repay your loan on time, and the credit history can be used on many aspects in your life in the US. All right, thank you, Sharon. And also would like to talk about there's some common mistakes students can make when filling out the application. Ron, would you like to point out some examples that you see when you review the applications?
Yeah, sure thing. So some examples, like these are really simple mistakes that I see a lot in the applications. So some people like they select the wrong start date and wrong graduation date. By that, I mean, I've seen applications where the graduation date is actually before the loan start date, which is definitely not possible. So just be a little careful when you're filling that kind of stuff out. Another common mistake is you select the wrong major in the drop-down list that we have. I know sometimes the major is not available like exactly as what your school gives it to you on your admission letter. The recommendation or suggestion I have there would be to try to find like the closest match that you can find. One example I can give you is I know data science, schools give you data science on the admission letter, but I don't think MPOWER has it on their drop-down list yet. For that one, anything related to data, there's data modeling or something, there's something like that. You can actually search for it on our drop-down list, and that would be the closest match to data science. So if you have any things like that, try to figure out yourself. But if not, you can always reach out to our customer success team to help you out.
All right, thank you, Ron. So if you cannot find the exact major name on the drop-down list in the application, don't worry, just find the one that very similar to your major, and we will review your documents afterward, after you submit your application. Sharon, do you have some, have you seen any mistakes that happened in the application before?
Some of the other common mistake we would see would be insufficient documentation. So let's say, for example, if you say you have $3,000 in savings, you need to be able to submit a bank statement or some other document that actually shows you do have that amount in savings. If you say you're admitted to this university for this course, you need to have an admission letter that matches the school you selected plus the major you're going to do. So you need to make sure that all the information you input in the application is supported by the documentation. That would definitely help you get your decision much faster.
Right. Thank you, Sharon. Just a follow-up question. We actually see this question from the attendees. And so this attendee is asking that I think him or her has lots of savings in their home country, and they don't want to use the savings for their study in the US. So in this case, should they still show the savings to us will it actually reduce the chance to get approved because they have too much income and savings?
Yeah, I can actually take that question. So I would always say show the maximum amount of funds that you have. That actually helps you get a loan approved from any, not just MPOWER, from like any bank in general. Like always show the maximum amount of funding that you have, and that'll give you like a better chance of getting that loan approved.
Okay, nice. I see we have received a few questions from our attendees. This person is asked, when should I apply for my loan? Sharon, do you want to take this question?
Sure. Well, definitely as soon as you get that admission letter, as soon as you know that you want to study in the US or Canada, start that application early. One of the reasons why we're doing the 2% interest rate reduction promotion is we're trying to reward individuals who plan ahead. So you definitely want to be in that. So if you know you're going to be attending school starting January 2023, which will be the spring semester for the next academic year, definitely get your application in right now. It's better to get the application in, it gets approved, and it turns out you don't need it than for you to need it and you're unable to get the funding that you need in time.
Yes, get your application to be submitted right now. Or within this month, and it can save you up to $20,000 in interest payments. And this is definitely a huge benefit that you don't want to miss if you are considering getting a loan. And you don't need to wait to get the offer from a school, and you can just choose the school that you are thinking you will get the most chance, and you can change the school later in the application process. So don't need to worry. And there's another questions about what documents do I need to submit an application?
Sure, I can kind of take that. There are a bunch of documents that you actually kind of need. So I'll just split it up into like a couple of different things. So one is like KYC. Basically, we want to get to know you a little better. So information like that would be like documents that support that, like a passport, national ID, things like that. That's one. The second one is we definitely need your admission letter to know which school you got into. And it'll also have the degree information on it, like what you're going to study. So that's one thing we definitely need. The other ones get a little more complicated depending on if you have debt or if you don't have debt. So like if you bought a house in your home country and you're still paying a loan on that, we would require that information. If you have a car in your home country and you're still going to pay for that, we would also require the loan information about that car loan that you have. And if you have a job offer letter, that would help us. If you also have a resume, like how long have you worked, it'll give us like a good background about you as an individual. That also really helps. And yeah, I think the other stuff is more funds related. So like whatever you mentioned as funds. So if you say you have $5,000, like Sharon mentioned, just give us that supporting documentation for all the funding that you have available. And if you have more funding that you want to use for your course, also share that documentation with us. That will only improve your chances to get a loan from MPOWER.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. You just mentioned the documentation as a funding proof. I know that we actually accept fundings from sponsors, right? Then they have to submit this as sponsor support letter. So there are some of questions from our attendees. They're asking, is it the same thing with cosigner? Like they know that we don't require cosigner, but why do we need a signature from the sponsors about the funding?
Yeah, it's not about a cosigner. They do not sign your final loan documents. You are the only one responsible for your loan at the end of the day. The reason we ask for that, the sponsor support letters, if someone you don't know, say your friend or your cousin or someone is supporting you through your education, we just want to know like they are actually sending you the funds and like how much, like what the amount of funds they have available to help you out with your education. So that's why we ask for them. And we also need proof that you actually know that person. So we also ask for a proof of ID for that person. That's more of a internal thing for MPOWER. So So yeah, when you're submitting funds for someone who you don't know or someone from your family, there are 3 documents you need. One is the proof of funds, like the actual dollar amount that you need. The second one would be the ID of that person. And the third one would be just a letter saying, I promise to give whoever is going to school this much funding for their education. And yeah, those are the 3 documents that you need.
Thank you, Ron. So your sponsor is very, very different from the co-signer because co-signer needs to be responsible for the loan and also the repayment status. But with us, you're the only one who's responsible for your loan and the repayment. Okay, people are very engaging here. We also have a lot of questions asking, is $100,000 a yearly limit? For example, if my program requires more than $120,000 to complete, can I request more than that the next year? And what do I need to do if there is a gap?
So
Sharon, do you want to take this?
Yes, sorry. Our loan limit is 100,000, and that's a lifetime loan limit. So if your school requires you to have more than that, I definitely recommend you start exploring your alternative funding options right now. So for example, if your school requires you to pay tuition up to 150,000, if you can apply for the MPOWER loan and get approved for the up to the 100,000 limit, then you need to start looking at any alternatives you might have to get the difference to bridge that funding gap. It's very important that you're able to show that as you complete your application, because you will be asked questions about how you plan to meet that funding gap. So it's something to prepare for as you apply.
Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so here also a question is for Sharon too. When does the repayment start? What are my options while I'm in school if I don't have an income? Can I borrow the money from the interest-only payments?
So the first part of the question, when does repayment start? So repayment usually begins 30 days after your school receives the funds. The reason for that is once you start making your payments, you start building your US credit history, which is very helpful for international students. As you graduate and you get married and you move into a new city for that job and things like that. If you run into problems, things don't go as planned, you're not able to make your payments in time, we have a dedicated servicing team. You can reach out to us, talk to us, and we can help you design something that can help you depending on what your situation is. So we find that it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. So that's why we have the team to help you to provide you with customized options as you're going through your transition and settling down as an international student. Yes, if you do think that you're not able to make payments while you're in school, you can request for a higher loan amount that will help you cover some of those payments while you're in school.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for your detailed answer. I see there are, for the people that haven't started their application with MPOWER, they want to know what are the eligibility requirements for a loan. Ron, do you want to take this? It's an easy one.
Yeah, so there's not really a lot of eligibility requirements. One would be you have to be going to an MPOWER eligible school. So like one of the schools that we work with, that is one. You have to be either accepted or enrolled there. So as soon as you get your admission letter, you can apply. And I think that's it. We work with almost all the countries in the world. So I think those are the only requirements. Oh, the other one that I forgot to mention was you have to be within 2 years of graduation. So most master's degrees are eligible, but if you're a bachelor student, I have to be in the last 2 years of your degree program.
Yes, thank you, Ron. And if you still don't know you are eligible or not, just check your eligibility on MPOWER's website. And by clicking the link, our chat moderator just shared in the chat box. It only takes 1 minute just to know that if you're eligible or not, and that can give you the most correct answer. Okay, so I think because of the pandemic, many universities actually opened online programs or hybrid programs. So their attendees asked, does MPOWER support online program?
Yeah, sure, I can take that. We do support online programs, and yeah, as long as you apply in time, you should be fine.
Okay, we support online programs, but do we need a visa?
Yes. So most of the programs that happened during the pandemic were shifted to online, but you also have to come to school to the US for the second year. So those kind of programs are eligible. But if your program is like 100% online and you never come to the US, then those loans are usually not eligible for an MPOWER loan.
Thank you, Ron. So as long as you have a part of your programs is in the US or Canada, that you should be eligible for MPOWER loan. But we cannot guarantee here. If you want to know the very exact, accurate answer, just check eligibility on MPOWER's website. Okay. What school do you support? This is a quick answer. I'll just do it. You can just go check on MPOWER's website. There is a school list. You can search the school name and you will know. Will you support a school not on your list? Not yet, but we're adding schools very aggressively every month. If you want your school to be supported by MPOWER, please reach out to our customer service team, and they will reach out to our university relations team, and we'll try to get your school on our support list. Okay. Let me see. Here is a long question. I'm gonna read it out. Hi guys, I received approval, but I'm very confused because the contract doesn't talk about a 6 months grace period after graduation. And also it looks like I would need to start paying $450 monthly during grad school. I need to have a meeting with one of you guys one-to-one. Please help me.
So I'll take that. I would encourage you to reach out to your RM. Your RM is your relationship manager. They will be able to help answer these questions. But just to give like a general answer is the grace period is designed to keep your payments the same as what you are making in school. This is very important because after graduation is a very busy time for you as a student, because you're looking for a job, maybe you can't live on campus anymore, you're trying to find a new place to live and things like that. So when the payments are kept the same as what you're making in school, it helps you plan better because you know that, okay, this is what my monthly expenses are going to be, and this is what I need to have to help me as I go through that transitional time. And then 6 months after you graduate, you start making the principal and interest payments. And usually that lasts 10 years. But for the last part of the question, you should have a dedicated relationship manager who should help you like answer any follow-up questions you might have to that on a one-to-one basis.
All right, thank you, Sharon. I see our chat moderator has already sent out a list of support MPOWER schools in the chat box. If you don't know if your school is supported or not, go check it out. Does MPOWER help with getting a visa? Ron, do you want to take it?
Sure, I can take that. Yeah, we actually do. So as soon as you submit your application, you'll get a first letter from us, which is called the support letter. You can use that during your visa interview. You can also use that for your school. After that, you get your I-20 basically. And yeah, so you can either use the support letter for your visa process. You can use the actual loan offer that you get from MPOWER for your visa process. If you require another support letter, you can work with your RM and we will send out a specific support letter to help you get your loan. Like if there's something wrong on your support letter, like the address is wrong or there's like a name, like there's like 1 or 2 alphabets wrong in your name or whatever, you can reach out to your customer success rep and they'll be able to help you get an updated letter.
Thank you, Ron. Yes, MPOWER do support your visa. We provide you a visa support letter once your loan gets approved. So apply your loan with us and we'll help to assist you in getting a visa. Another question, I haven't been accepted in school yet. Can I still apply? What do I do if I need to change my school? Sharon?
Yes. So you can start your application, pick the school you think you're most likely going to get admitted to. And then if you have to change the school, you can reach out to your relationship manager to let them know that you are switching schools on the application. So we help international students all the time. So we do understand that these things do happen. So just talk to us as soon as anything in your situation changes.
All right, thank you, Sharon. And also want to remind everyone who even haven't been accepted into school yet, MPOWER is offering this 2% interest rate reduction this month. The deadline is April 30th. Please submit an application this month. Even though maybe you haven't received your school letter yet, but doesn't matter. And once you get the application submitted, you will be qualified for the interest rate reduction. And can you talk about the disbursement process and timeline? I think that's a question for Sharon.
So once your application gets approved, we will send the funds to your school based on a predetermined schedule. The schedule is determined partly by you. It's also partly determined by the school. So please make sure you are talking to your school officials to make sure that it also meets your own personal timeline, especially if you need the loan for your personal funds, like, buying textbooks or helping to pay rent and things like that. So once the loan gets disbursed, usually it can take up to 5 to 7 days for the money to appear in the school's bank account. And then after that, within the next 30 days, you would be required to make your first payment and start on the path of building good US credit history.
All right, thank you, Sharon. There's a question about Nova credit. MPOWER don't have to check credit history, but for many citizens from the countries that we actually do check Nova credit. I think this is a question for Ron. What do I do if I get an error message that we could not process your credit report request?
Yeah, so if you get that kind of error, actually, first let me give you a background of Nova. Nova is just a third party that we use to get a credit report from your own local country. They work with a bunch of countries around the world. And what they do is they just look at your local credit bureau and share that information with us. So that's what Nova does. If Nova is not able to find your credit report, that's fine. If they can't process it, it depends on what error message they get. That usually comes to MPOWER. And if everything looks good, your application will just go through as regularly. If there's something that we need to clarify on from Nova specifically, then someone from the relationship manager team will be in touch with you. So you don't really need to worry about that if Nova gives you an error. Your application is still complete and it has come to MPOWER.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Yeah, so this person asked, I have already got a final approval of loan from MPOWER. I applied for 2022 and 2023 academic year. Right now it needs certification, but no application for certification has not come to my school. When can I get the loan? I think it's about school certified process. Sharon, do you want to take this?
I think Ron would be better placed.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so the certification process is we just need to verify that you're actually going to that particular school. So after your loan is approved, we send that request to the school. The school usually doesn't work on 2022, 2023 right now because they're still working on the spring semester. But in the summer semester, so hopefully like a month or two from now, they'll actually receive that request and then they'll tell us about the disbursement schedule, which is what Sharon was talking about some time ago, as to when the school wants the money from MPOWER. So that's when we'll actually transfer the funds to the school. So once your application is actually in certification, you don't need to worry about anything. It'll just go through the normal process and you will definitely get your money before you start school. I can guarantee that. Yeah.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, this student asked, can you repay your loan early? A quick answer is yes, you can repay your loan early with no penalty fee. So what do you do if you want to repay your loan early? Do you need to schedule with us or something? Sharon, do you want to let us know how do they repay their loan early?
Okay, sure. So I'll just like to reiterate, yes, you can definitely pay off your loan early. We have no penalty or fee if you do that. There are multiple ways you can do that. You can, let's say if the minimum due on your loan each month is $200, if you make a $300 payment, the little extra that you pay will be used to paying down your loan early. If, let's say, you have a sign-on bonus, you get that dream job after you graduate, the new company is giving you like $10,000 to sign on with them. You can put that towards your loan and that will help you pay off your loan early. You can also pay off the outstanding balance in one go. We call that a payoff. So same thing. And when you know what your loan balance is, you can just log into the servicer. Your servicer is basically who will help you, the servicer is where you'll be making your payments to. And you can just make that one large payment to pay off your loan at any time.
Thank you, Sharon. You can repay your loan at any time with no penalty fee.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a repeat customer here. This person already have an MPOWER loan but needs additional funds, but the application I think he or she applied for is not for the fall semester this year. What can he or she do if wants to get additional funds? Will that be a new application and go through the whole process again?
Sure, I can take that, I think. So if you're already a MPOWER borrower and your first loan is approved, you won't have to do like the entire application process. If you log into the dashboard, you'll see it. There's I need more funding and you can just request what extra funding that you need. So yeah, just follow the instructions on the dashboard and it should be pretty straightforward.
Okay, so if this person applied for additional funds, does this lower interest rate apply to this new application?
Yeah, definitely. As long as the application is for a future semester, you still get the promotional interest rate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's a question for Ron, I think. Why do you guys need all these supporting documents?
Yeah, so we get that question a lot. The reason we need documents is we're just trying to verify who the person is and like what they are kind of doing. Like so I'll give you an example. There's this old saying in finance which says trust but always verify. So we trust the information that you enter, but we just need to verify the information that you enter, which is why we need the supporting documentation. I think that's the easiest answer I can give you. It's just that we trust what you said. We just need to verify it.
Yes, thank you, Ron. Yes, we do trust what you say in your application. We just need to verify it. And so provide all the documents to us. And if you're not sure about if document is a correct one, reach out to your customer relations manager and they will guide you through the whole process. Hey, there is a person asked about MPOWER's referral program. I will take that question. Yes, MPOWER do offer this referral programs, this referral reward to the people who wants to recommend their friends, their family members, or their coworkers, whatever that you think will need a loan with MPOWER. If you do that, if you do the recommendation, and MPOWER will reward you with $300 in gift card, and the person who you referred for will get $100 in gift card. This is very, very generous referral program. So go ahead and recommend your friends to us. If you don't know how to do it, we actually do have a referral program webpage that you should go click. Our chat moderator can please share the website to the chat box. Okay, this person is asked, how can I request the support letter from MPOWER to help me get my I-20?
So I can actually take that. So once your loan is approved, like the final approval, you should get a support letter as soon as that happens. And the final loan approval you get is after you actually submit your I-20 to us. So if you haven't received your support letter yet, that means your loan is still being processed by MPOWER internally. So it may take some time to get that document out to you.
Okay, there is a related question too, based on Ron's answer. So what do I do if I haven't heard back from MPOWER about my loan application? And I need the answer soon. Sharon, do you want that? Okay, Ron.
Yeah, sure. So right now we are having we have a lot of loan applications that we're currently working through because of the interest rate promotion. We have a lot of applications that we are going through. So you should be hearing back pretty soon. But if it's really taking that long and you have a deadline, you can work with your relationship manager to kind of work on the application to just make sure everything's complete, because that can be one of the reasons why the application is delayed. But if everything is complete, it should get processed soon, in like 5 days. And let me clarify that answer a little bit. So the 5 days, the way we actually measure it is if there's something missing on your application and we go to the RM and then they come to you and then you resubmit whatever additional information we need, it takes another 5 days maximum time before your application is reviewed again.
Thank you, Ron. There's a follow-up question. How do I figure out who my relationship manager is?
I'm not sure about that. Anyone else want to take that question?
Okay, I'll take this question. How to figure out who my relationship manager is. So if you haven't heard back from MPOWER yet, you should go fill out a contact us form on our website. There is a contact us webpage, and it will go directly to our customer service team, and they will reach out to you as soon as possible. Usually after you apply the loan with us, your relationship manager should proactively reach out to you, and you should actually see their name at the bottom of the email. If you haven't, feel free to reach out to us, and we will help you to figure out who your relationship manager is. How do your interest rate works? How can I figure out my monthly payment?
I'll take that one. So you can use an interest calculation. Let me try to break out the numbers here. So if you get an interest rate of 11.99%, so the way you calculate that is 11.99 divided by 100, so that you can get what the percentage is, which is 0.1199. And then you multiply that by the amount that you borrowed. So once you have that, so let's say if you borrowed $10,000, you will get that your yearly interest is $1,199. And then you divide that by the 12 months in a year to get what your monthly payment should approximately look like. Of course, please allow room for rounding errors because there are a few decimals in there, but you should get pretty close if you use that. So your interest rate, divide that by 100, multiply that by the amount that you owe, and divide by the number of months in a year, 12, to get what your rough monthly payment would be while you're still in school.
Thank you, Sharon. Also, if you don't know how to do that math, no worries. We actually do have a interest rate. No, it's a monthly payment calculator on MPOWER's webpage. Chat moderator, please share the link to the chat box. It's very easy to use. Just type in your degree and your loan amount, and it will tell you how much monthly payment do you need to pay.
Yeah. Another thing there is when you're actually approved for a loan, we tell you exactly how much your monthly payment is going to be for the next 10 years. And we give you to you in installments. So for the first 2 years, there's one amount that you need to pay. For the next 8.5 years, there's another amount that you need to pay. So when you get your final loan documents, all that information is given to you with the exact dollar amount that is owed every month for the next 10 years.
Thank you, Ron. This person is asking about the loan repayment again. I think Sharon has already explained what will happen if you failed on making the payment on time. But Sharon, do you have any example in mind? That have you ever experienced a student that failed to repay their loan on time?
So a good example I can give is, let's say if your payment is due on the 20th of the month, 7 days from now. You had an expense you didn't plan for. Maybe your car broke down. You know you won't be able to make your payment on time. We always encourage our borrowers to reach out to us proactively. So reach out to us before the due date. Let us know what the situation is. And depending on what exactly you're going through, we'll provide a customized solution. So in the example I gave, your car broke down, you need to fix it. You won't be able to make your payment on the 20th, but you have another paycheck that's coming on the last day of the month, let's say the 30th. So you have a grace period of 15 days to make that payment without you getting any late fees or anything else like that. So always err on the side of over communication. So just let us know everything that's going on so that we can help you figure out exactly what is best for you.
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, just reach out to us and talk to us. No worry about over communication. Over communication is good. We're always here for you guys. Okay, so here's a question. My dashboard is showing I need to upload my I-20, but I don't have an I-20 yet. What do I do?
Yeah, I can take that. So if your dashboard is saying you need to upload your I-20 and you don't have it yet, I'm assuming there's a delay from the school to give you your I-20 because you already have the support letter. And so I would say just reach out to your school, wait for them to give it to you, and then you can upload it to us. As long as you've reached that stage where we're just waiting for your I-20 document, your loan is pretty much approved. We're just waiting for the I-20 to confirm everything about your enrollment to that school, the program that you're studying, and everything.
Is there an expiration date for the loan application? Like, can a loan application be expired? Like, what if the student haven't uploaded their I-20 fast enough? How long can they wait?
Sure. Specifically for I-20s, there is no expiry if you're in the I-20 stage of the loan application. That means your loan is pretty much approved, just pending verification of that I-20. But if your loan is like before that, like you haven't submitted any documents, I think after 90 days, we expire applications that haven't moved. But if you're in the I-20 stage and you only require the I-20 document, your loan does not expire.
Thank you, Ron. And if I make a mistake on my submitted application, can I correct the mistake? How do I correct them? I'll take this. To correct a mistake, just reach out to your customer relations manager and let them know where the mistakes is at, and they will help you to correct the mistake on your application. Okay. There's a question about I can't submit I-20 document until I show my financial proof to the school. And that's only doable when my loan gets approved.
I can actually take that. I'll actually walk you guys through the whole process. So what happens is you submit your loan application, it gets approved, you get a support letter from us. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use that as proof of funds to your school, and that's when your school will give you your I-20. And as soon as you get that, then you can give it to us, and that's when your loan is fully approved. If for some reason the school does not accept the support letter, we've had cases of that. You can reach out to your customer relationship manager and explain the situation to them, and we can try to find a solution for you specifically. But in most cases, most schools usually accept the support letter that we give them, and they just issue the I-20. I think this is a more nuanced case, so I would recommend you reaching out to your customer relationship manager to kind of understand what's happening, and also reach out to your school to see why aren't they accepting that particular document.
Thank you very much, Ron. And we are in our last 5 minutes. If you have any questions, please type in the Q&A function, and we do have about 7 people from MPOWER here who can answer all your questions today, either by typing or by answering live. So in our last 5 minutes, Sharon and Ron, would you like to share some advice to our international students attendees here? Just some tips to help them with their upcoming study abroad journey. Like, do you want to share some experience and how to encounter any difficulty as international students to mingle in the US or Canada society?
So the first thing I would recommend any international student does is please have your documentation in line. The documents that most of the documents you're going to need to get admitted into a university, you will need some of those documents for your loan application. You will need some of those documents for your visa application, because you're going to be asked similar questions like your work history, your education history, your funding sources. So try to get all that together, because you're going to be duplicating this information a lot as you go through that application journey. And once you arrive, I definitely recommend always be asking a lot of questions. Don't be hesitant to reach out. I know sometimes it can be a bit intimidating. You're new, maybe your accent is a bit different and things like that, but you should still ask as many questions as you can so that you can get the answers that you need to make your life better. Like, for example, where is the best place to eat? Where is the most affordable place I can go in case I want to relax with my friends? If I want to get a good grade on this paper, like an A, what exactly do I need to do? So that would be like a question for your professor or your TA, asking the school's admission office, what can I do to ensure my admission is completed? Like, do I need to submit additional documents? Always be proactive. Don't wait for someone to reach out to you.
Thank you, Sharon. Ron, would you like to share your advice?
Yeah, sure. So like Sharon said, just keep your documents with you. Also keep them pretty safe. One recommendation I have, as soon as you get to whichever country you're going to, try to get like a local ID card so you don't have to carry your passport everywhere, because that's a little risky. That's one thing. The second thing is, when you're in school, try to enjoy yourself, try to learn a lot, try to talk to new people, try to interact with a lot more people than you would normally do, because that time goes pretty fast. Like if you're doing a master's degree, it's like a 1-year program. You blink and like that 1 year is gone. So just try and be open about everything. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the advice that I have.
Thank you, Ron. Yes, be open, step out of your comfort zone, and keep your documents safe. That's very, very important. Especially if you also prepare to get on loan with MPOWER. We will need those documents. Before we end the webinar, I'd like to remind everyone again about our 2% interest rate reduction. The deadline for application is April 30th. Please submit an application today or anytime within this month. It can save you up to $20,000 in interest payment if you submit an application this month. If you don't know whether you're eligible or not, please go to our website to check eligibility. It only takes 1 minute. All right, I think that's it for today. Please stay tuned by following us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and WeChat. We use the same name for all channels, MPOWER Financing. Just search MPOWER Financing and follow us. We'll post updates about future promotions and events on those channels. Hope to see you again in our next live session. We're going to stay 3 minutes longer in the chat to allow our chat moderators to complete typing the answers. But that's it for today. Bye, everyone.
Recording stop.